Logan Pass is in the center of Glacier National Park. It's in the shadow of what's left of a peak that was sheared off by one of the park's namesake glaciers. Often the parking lot fills up by 7 a.m., but if you're lucky enough to get a spot, or if you take a red bus or a hiker shuttle to get here, you should take the Highline Trail. Its several destinations are covered in my other park guides. In this little teaser, we're just going to go to Granite Park and down to the Loop on the Going to the Sun Road. The trail starts by going down and around to a path carved into the garden wall. There are sheer cliffs up and sheer ones down. It's so narrow that it's difficult to pass in opposite directions, and because of this, the park is considering making it a one-way trail, which is too bad for a lot of folks who just want to spend an hour or two going out to what I call my lunch spot. The cliff face isn't very long, and most people won't be scared. There is a handy garden hose to hang on to until they take it away in October. After that, the trail just weaves in and out of the contours of the garden wall, with great views back to Logan Pass and across the valley. This next little cliff face is what I call my lunch spot. It takes only about an hour to get here, and if you just want to do an out and back, this is a great place to turn around. You never know who you're going to meet while you're admiring the view of the haystack before heading back to Logan. I've had good luck spotting wildlife around here. I've also seen bighorn, and even a grizzly and her 2 cubs, who were thankfully quite a ways away. The switch back up the haystack is the only noticeable incline, and after this little pass, the trail once again meanders along the garden wall with great views all along the way. 5 or 6 miles out, after the last corner, you get your first look at Granite Park. And just before the last slope, there's another trail. This one goes to the Grinnell Glacier Overlook. It's only 5/8 of a mile long, but it goes up 1,000 feet. I've only done it once, and it was tough. But there's a great view of Grinnell Glacier in the valley beyond. I did it late in the year when most of the bergs had melted. Posing is about all that I had energy for. Granite Park is 7.6 miles from Logan Pass, but I also had to go up to the Overlook, which added 1.25 miles, so it was time for a rest. Granite Park is a collection of buildings that include the improperly named chalet with its rustic accommodations. You have to bring your own bedding and food, but the night sky is amazing, and reservations are incredibly hard to come by. There's also a store, and I was able to buy food and water as long as I packed it out. If you're in better shape than me, you might want to hike the 1 mile-ish up to Swift Current Lookout. Its many switchbacks rise 1,200 feet to a fire lookout building with one of the best views in the park. But that's not for me. I opted for a quiet table with a view before I headed down 4.2 miles to the Loop. The trail drops 2,400 feet. Going down can be harder on the knees than going up. Hiking poles really help, but I didn't have any when I did the Loop. Fairly recent fires means there's little shade on most of the trail, which is pretty steep all the way down to the Going to the Sun Road. And it was from there that I caught a hiker shuttle back to Logan Pass in my vehicle. The Highline Trail and any of its versions made my list of the 3 best trails in Glacier. But this trail, like much of the park, is being loved to death. Overcrowding may force it to be a one-way trail, so in the future, 2-hour jaunts out to my lunch spot may no longer be possible. So we're all going to have to get in shape to do the long ones.